Now, I'm really chuffed about this. We said this at the beginning of the show. It is National Langar Week this week. For those that don't know, the main principles within the Sikh faith of Langar are fighting hunger, equality in action, and teaching compassion. And I'm really chuffed to say we're joined in the studio by Amandeep Singh, a friend of the show. He's an educator of the Sikh faith and also senior volunteer for Nishkam SWAT, alongside Sukh Singh from the Sikh Press Association. Pleasure to have you both here.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
We've got to start off, Amandeep, by asking you, for anyone who doesn't really know, maybe they've been out with friends and they've heard this idea of Langar, but what does it actually mean?
Fantastic. Well, if you haven't heard for Langar, you are in for a treat. Langar loosely translates to free food in the community kitchen. It's for all people, and it's given out at Sikh temples, all Sikh temples, irrespective of your own race, religion or gender, across the entire world. This is probably the most unique and celebrated part of the Sikh faith, something for which all Sikhs are incredibly grateful and also, I should say, very proud of.
I do love that, but what I think is great with National Langar Week is, although it happens in the Sikh temples, what you're essentially doing is trying to highlight this by going out to kind of serve this free langar as well, isn't it?
Yep, well, I could tell exactly that. And the reason why we do that is it can be established from the, if you like, the historical context of where langar came from. So
yes.
in very short terms, how langar came to be was around 500 years ago, the founder of the Sikh faith, his name was Guru Nanak. Many may have heard of Guru Nanak. And he was loved, and his generosity and compassion is recognised across the world. His father, though, was a little bit concerned about his entrepreneurial ability, should we say. He was a little bit concerned, like most of our parents, my dad as well, how are you going to make a living just by being kind and loving to all people?
Yes.
So, as our history tells us, his father gave him 20 rupees, not a lot in today's currency exchange, but that was roughly equivalent to about 1,000 days' salary back then.
Right.
And their father said, look, take this money and do something fruitful with it. If you like, go to the market and strike a good bargain. When Guru Nanak returns from the market, their father is inquiring as to what kind of a bargain they've struck, only to find out that, in fact, Guru Nanak used the money to buy lots of food to feed those impoverished, very, very hungry and sort of poor saints that had not eaten for a long time. Their father was very upset with this, and they scolded Guru Nanak. And Guru Nanak famously stated and replied that, you told me to strike a good bargain. What better bargain could I possibly have struck? I struck the very best bargain by using that money to feed people that were hungry, because there's nothing better that we can do than to give other people.
And when was langar, as we know it, in our communities and the way it is today, when was that established?
Excellent question. So Guru Nanak established a foundation. The second and the third Guru of the Sikhs then built upon that foundation, and it was really the third Guru of the Sikhs that really institutionalized langar across the entire world. The third Guru very famously raised a flag into the sky called the Nishan Sahib, and effectively spoke out to the entire world and said, hey, it doesn't matter to me if you're a Hindu, a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew. If you're hungry, look into the sky. Where you see my flag break the skyline, come to the base of that flag and I will feed you. And to this very day, and to this very day, you can go across the entire world. You'll find thousands of Sikh temples, no exception, and every single one will have this wonderful flag calling out to the whole of humanity saying, hey, come in, we'll feed you. And we have this wonderful free kitchen in every single Sikh temple celebrating langar.
So with that then, Sukh, this week is quite important, but is it important as well to say you don't have to be Sikh to enjoy National Langar Week?
Not at all. That's the whole point of National Langar Week. We want to say to people, listen, this is for you. This isn't just for us. There's so much misconceptions out there that, because it's in a gurdwara, or Sikhs are only doing it for themselves and I can't do it, or I have to pay some money to go and have it, like some sort of buffet service.
Yes.
And we want to say no, not at all. There's like over 4 million kids in poverty in this country now. You got over 1 million people using food banks, and people might say, look, hearing the history of it, they might think, this is a very old-fashioned system. Actually, this is a system. This is a gift for modern day Britain. We want to say to modern day Britain, you don't have to go hungry. And it's not because of government or anybody else, but it's because of Sikhs and it's because of langar. And where there's langar, you don't have to go hungry at all.
So here's my other question that was put to me as well, that this is your recruitment to get more people into the Sikh religion.
Well, what
as in, like, you're converting people. That's why you do this push every year.
The message is one of love and compassion for all people, and this is what's really, really beautiful. If you go to what I'm very proud to say is the biggest kitchen in the entire world, which is the kitchen that's at the Golden Temple in Punjab.
You can type it into the YouTube channel. So many vloggers have gone there from different backgrounds and followed the process of that.
Exactly. So I was very fortunate. If you go to the Golden Temple, you'll see a massive and wonderful celebration of humanity. You'll have Hindus, Muslims, Christians and Jews, atheists, people from all different backgrounds. No one's asked of their religion or of their character or creed. They've been taught to just come in and sit down and celebrate brotherhood and sisterhood by having food. No one's converted, no one's preached. That's just not it's just not a part of our philosophy to do that. Yeah. If you look at the history of the Sikhs, we came to be at a time when there was much pressure to convert to the Mughal regime under Islam. So the Sikhs were about freedom and liberty for all people to practice their own faith. So it would be counterintuitive for us now to be pushing an agenda.
So can I ask you, what is some of the things that are happening over this week? Because this is the exciting bit. I want to know where do I go?
I'm sure
how
people
can I
think,
get involved?
all right, this sounds amazing. I want to go to this. Well, what's going on then?
Well, there's not just events across the country, but events actually across the entire world.
Wow.
We have Sikh communities across the world doing Langar events. It's absolutely amazing. But sort of a little bit closer to home here in London, we got 3 main events this week. So one's going to be a Langar week lunch at a place called St Ethelburga's Peace and Reconciliation Centre. So that's
what was that again?
St Ethelburga's Peace and Reconciliation Centre.
I love that. Okay.
So for all you city workers out there, if you're working late, come down. It's in the city from 12 to 3 on Tuesday. And you can have langar that will be prepared by different volunteers from different organisations. So we're bringing everybody together. Anybody can come and help us prepare. Anybody can come and partake in the food as well. Like Amandeep said, this is all about love. This is all about compassion. We all sit at the same level. We eat the same food. It's a way of saying you're my brother and you're my sister, and nothing's going to sort of discriminate us here.
And I love the fact you've got one in Trafalgar Square as well.
Yeah, Trafalgar Square on Friday. So there's they happen quite often in terms of every year when there's big events. But we're really pleased to say that SWAT are going to be there from 1 to 4 p.m. on Friday in Trafalgar Square as well.
Could I just add, this is not just a food for a human being that's hungry. The way I like to understand it is, on a societal level, it's actually food for humanity. So Guru Nanak was very advanced in his thinking, and he recognised that as human beings, how we celebrate friendship with each other is we break bread with those that we care about. If you all look up in your homes and you think about how you celebrate those relationships with those that are nearest and dearest to you, you might phone them and go, hey, let's go out for a meal.
Yeah.
And what Guru Nanak said was, hey, there's a whole family of humanity here. So he opened up his doors and said, come to my house and break bread with me. So the idea of langar is to break down barriers between societies and communities. And in today's day and age, when we've got walls being built all over the world, it's all the more relevant right now than it ever has been to sort of have langar, come together, break bread and be brothers.
Is this also then another opportunity? Like if you are somebody, and I'll just give you an example, like I have a friend, and yesterday it was our daughter's birthday and she came to the temple for the first time, and she said, I've walked past this temple many times but I've never gone in. And is this also an opportunity then, by having National Langar Week, to kind of say to those individuals who have maybe wondered, well, who are Sikhs, what are Sikhs, I'd like to go in, but maybe it's not that they're not welcome, I'm not saying that, they are, but they've never had that confidence to kind of walk in.
Yeah, exactly. When I talk to people and I say, listen, you can go to any gurdwara and you'll be welcome, they say, okay, but it might be a little bit intimidating, they might want to go with somebody. So this is a great opportunity for you to meet Sikh volunteers who are giving out langar. You can say, oh, I would like to go to a gurdwara near my house, and we can put you in touch with people. You can always message us, Sikh PA, we're on Twitter, you can email us or Facebook. If you do want to visit, we're more than happy to put you in touch with networks across the country that will host you.
The website, I want to give that, because if someone's thinking I'd really like to do that, then it's sikhpa.com, so Sikh or SikhPA.com. With this week, once it's done, you don't just stop though, do you? Because for example, we mentioned earlier on Nishkam SWAT, and I know Amandeep, you're a part of that. The volunteering that you do, it continues throughout the year, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's something which I'm very, very proud of. So the Sikh philosophy of langar is one that recognises that people need to eat all day, every day, or every single day. So the Sikh temples across the world, and there are thousands, and there are many in London, are open all the time to give langar. And so where Sikh charities have followed in that inspiration of Guru Nanak, like SWAT or like Midlands Langar Seva Society in the Midlands, they are out on the streets of London 4 times a week, 20 times a week nationwide. So SWAT are serving at Charing Cross for those that are in need, or on the conversely, who want to get involved and sort of help out and serve. They're at Charing Cross Police Station outside there on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and a Sunday. They're feeding about 2,800 meals a week, all by volunteers.
Can I ask you a question? When you guys when SWAT started, was that number lower or higher?
In terms of the number they were feeding,
yeah.
I think yes. It's a double-edged sword in what I'm about to say. When we get there on a Tuesday night, that's the day that we help out with the rota. It's a double-edged sword in that we get there at 7:25 for a 7:30 start, and there's already a queue of people there relying on it. And why I call it a double-edged sword is because it's fantastic that SWAT are out there in the spirit of Guru Nanak giving out langar, but it's also a shame that they're needed in today's day and age where we have such a wealthy infrastructure that isn't maintaining them. So although we're there, it would be a lot nicer if we weren't. As a last line of defence.
And it's also important to say, donations aren't required for this, right? This food that you're giving has been donated by the community. So in terms of, you're not asking for people to put money in towards this.
No, it's against we don't have any. We're not giving it. We're not shaking money buckets. We're just going out there. The food is all internally organised through volunteers. We've got a strong. The BBC described it as a national task force dealing with homelessness.
I love that. I think that's right.
It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is very cool.
It kind of makes you think of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But we're out there and
Hunger Busters.
Exactly. So we've got about 800 volunteers, and between all of them, they make light of the need for donations because they all just chip in. We all just chip in a little bit, and they all add up.
Are you always looking for volunteers as well?
Yeah, I think looking for volunteers is the wrong word.
Right.
When you experience the gift of giving. You realise that is a true wealth, and that is the teaching of the Guru. The Guru is saying that actually there is no greater thing to receive than through giving. So the idea is that if it's not we're looking for volunteers, we want to inspire people to say, come out, volunteer with us, and then you'll understand how much value you can receive through that gift of giving.
So best way to do that, go to SikhPA.com. Is that correct?
We've got a list of all the events that are going on this week on our website, and then check our social media for an event near you as well.
I'm going to be biased right now and say come to Trafalgar Square on a Friday. We're going to have a street party like no other, celebrating brotherhood and sisterhood.
I love that. And it's in London. Come on. I love the fact that, because we mentioned earlier on, it's happening across the country. We kind of want to, shine the light a little bit about London if we can. It's such a pleasure having you guys here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Can we get you guys back in the coming weeks and kind of follow up and, find out how things are going in preparation, of course, for the winter months as well? We'd really love to find out what SWAT, Sikh PA are doing with that as well.
Yep. If I could can I do a quick shout out?
Very quickly, yes.
So just a shout out to all the guys that are at Charing Cross right now, just shutting up, putting their high-vis jackets in the van. You've braved the cold while I'm sitting in this warm studio, and I feel a bit guilty for you guys being out there. So respects to you guys all for serving the people and representing us. Thank you very much. Love to all people.
Oh, thank you for that, Amandeep. And also thank you, Sukh, for coming in.
Thank you so much. We
send our love to you guys as well, because I know it's very cold out there. Big thank you to all of our guests today, to Amandeep, to Sukh, and everyone in the first.